What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another I'm Joking podcast. I'm your host Kenny here with my co-host John.
What's going on, guys?
We have a big announcement for you guys today. Something that kind of pains us to say. Something I mean, we say it all the time. Shit happens. We're all grown-ups here. Things pop up in our lives that are unexpected. We have no control over. Um,
We kicked out Mike.
John has
I'm kidding.
something. Yeah, imagine. So John has something serious to tell you guys.
Okay, so Mike is still in the show. I was just kidding. But this is the end. It's the beginning of the end. It was a good long run, but good things must come to an end.
Yes.
So this is the finale, the season finale of the I'm Joking podcast. We're coming to you with a season 2, just like Loki did. That's not a
Yes,
spoiler because it
sir.
was already all over social media. But we'll be back in August, better, bigger, and with a couple surprises. You'll be surprised when you see that first week. You'll see a little bonus, and that's all I'll
Yes.
say about
And
it.
last thing, we're gonna leave off on that. If you guys want to follow us on this 2 to 3 week adventure, um, follow us on the socials. We got the I'm Joking podcast. I'm underscore Joking underscore podcast on Instagram. We also have TikTok. For any of you guys listening on the audio platforms, we also have a YouTube channel, and we'd love to see you guys feedback, comment on all of the socials, and we'll definitely shout you out in the next episode.
And if you leave a question, we'll answer it in the next episode. We'll give you a shout out because you deserve a shout out for the question because you're providing us a question. We're giving you the answer. You're helping us. We help you. Maybe you'll get a million followers. You surpass us. No, I'm kidding. Maybe stop. But yeah, it's we're gonna do a lot of improvements with this 2-ish week break to improve the content that we're providing you guys. It's gonna be better
More consistent, better, absolutely better.
and more consistent.
Just bro, overall, completely rebranded channel. So we're looking forward to it.
Maybe it might still be called the I'm Joking podcast, but it might be something.
Rebranded in terms of cosmetics, like
Yeah, true,
overall atmosphere of the channel.
true. So that's our bigger announcement. Oh my god!
Big announcement.
Yes, that's the big announcement that we have for you guys for this week. And yeah, how you been, Kenny?
I've been good, man. Can't complain. Life is whipping my ass with a fucking 10-pound bag of pennies right now, but you know, um, there's nowhere to go from the bottom other than up. So I'm looking forward to life in the next few months. How you been?
Today I became a hypocrite to myself because for the past 2 weeks I've been saying I'm not buying a Switch OLED. That's such a waste of money. I don't need that. And then they announced today at 3 o'clock Eastern you can pre-order it. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't need it. $350 is too much. Then 259 came up. Like, oh my god, I want it now.
This is a reoccurring theme on the channel
Yeah,
where we talk a bunch of shit about a product and we end up going out and actually buying it. I think we've done that like now probably 6 or 7 times. To
yeah.
be
Bought like
completely honest.
6 iPads in the past 2 years. Bought like 5 iPhones in the past 5 years.
I bought another Apple Watch after I said that I didn't use my current one. I bought a Switch Lite after I said that that shit was garbage. So whatever we say, take it with a grain of salt. All that I can say is that it's character development. I guess that's the
Yeah,
best way to put it.
totally.
So while you guys watch us every other week, we're gonna come out with some new shit that we talk shit about the week before.
Yep. Nintendo stay grabbing you by the balls. Yeah, I know. They really do. And they just keep succeeding with it.
Honestly, anything OLED, John's on it. They can come
Yo,
out with a
dead ass.
fucking. I don't even know what else they can do OLED.
Bro, if they come out with
We got the watch,
if
we
they
got the
come out
phone.
with an iPad that's OLED, I might buy a 6th iPad.
You're definitely gonna buy a sixth iPad.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen. It's fine. I'm gonna sell. Apparently, the Switch that I have is like in high demand because it's moddable. So I'm gonna sell it for like 250. So it's not gonna hurt that much.
Easy money.
Yeah. So, did we have top last week?
I don't think we had top. I think we just had the topic regarding leaks in the music industry. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
what we talked
yeah.
about.
That was the top pick. See what I
Right.
did there?
I see what you did there. That was nice.
Thank you. So this week there was a Nickelodeon like Smash clone announced, and that gave me some inspiration to think, huh, what is your top 3 Nickelodeon shows of your childhood? I'm gonna let you start off.
All right. We're gonna go in no particular order
Mm-hmm.
because all these shows are very like dear to me and fond to me. Like I just love all the shows.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. I have to start it off, even though this is not in any order. I have to start it off with SpongeBob. Obviously,
I feel
show's been
like,
running
all
for like
right,
40 fucking
let me
years.
pause you
Go
right
ahead.
there, because
Let me hear it.
SpongeBob
Let
is
me hear
just
it.
universally like, so sans SpongeBob.
Okay. Okay. Danny Phantom.
Okay.
I love that show. I literally wanted to be a fucking ghost. However old I was, that was my dream at the
Mm-hmm.
time. I want to be a fucking ghost. Sticking with Butch Hartman as an artist, Fairly Odd Parents. That was definitely a good one. I like the which leads into my third pick, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. The first one where
Mm-hmm.
Goddard turned into this fucking Mechazord. That shit was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and third, I would probably have to say Jimmy Neutron. I didn't go one day without watching that shit. And at the time, I more recently got into shows and shit. So like continuality and actual overall story on a timeline. I didn't ever follow it. I just watched the show whenever the fuck it was on TV. Um, so I have to say, Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, and Jimmy Neutron.
That crossover though. That shit. That shit was like the MCU of
I
our
know.
generation. Like I remember
Yeah,
that
literally.
commercial. It was like I think it was like Timmy Turner, and then he turns into like the Jimmy Neutron verse. And I'm
Yeah,
like, this motherfucker is 3D now.
yeah, that shit was gas, bro. That shit was so gas. We saw plenty of characters in 3D, a bunch of characters in 2D, which was cool.
It was.
And just this, it was like super simple, but at the time I was fucking mind blown.
I'm like, yo, that's 2 shows in one. This is
Literally, bro. Couldn't
illegal.
get any better than that.
Also,
But I didn't like what they did. It was a big money grab when they did the other two. They did part one and two. I mean, I guess I got a little bit older and it was like
mm-hmm.
I was out of it already, but that shit at the time, bro.
um, So, by the way, Mike's on vacation, but he's on the chat with us. He said his top 3 are Danny Phantom, Nez Declassified, and Zoe 101.
Ooh, I had the biggest crush on was it
Jamie Lynn
what's her
Spears.
name? Yeah, Jamie Lynn
You
Spears.
know,
Yeah,
for like
fucking
my younger self for a while, like, is that Britney Spears? Like, who is that?
yeah. They did look alike. They did look alike. That's actually a really good three. I love Nezzy Classified as well.
Yeah, I just want to point out what Savia underscore memories wrote in the chat. He was like, that creepy moment where Carl got Jimmy's mom in a jar. You knew he took her home for some really
Oh,
fucked up Reddit story time.
for sure, bro. It's a fucking fantasy teller right there.
um, but all right, I'm gonna because I love those 3 shows that you mentioned. So for the sake of deviation, I'll say another 3. That's not
All right, let's
SpongeBob
hear it.
because who does not like SpongeBob? Like if you
Okay,
don't
wait. Before, go ahead. Go ahead.
because if you don't like SpongeBob, we can't be friends.
I will say they are really milking this shit by giving Patrick Star his own show.
It's
Did
a
you see
Patrick
that?
Star
Did you see
show.
that? You didn't see the commercial? This
No,
motherfucker
I don't
literally
watch
has a
commercials
show. It's a show about him having his own show. I think. I think.
because I know they made a prequel to SpongeBob where they're young.
Yeah, yeah, that was a movie, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it's called the Patrick Star Show. Literally. I think it premiered already, if I'm not mistaken.
But oh, by the way, Mike said, "Hot take: iCarly is trash." You know, it's okay. Like it was kind of like foreshadowing what we would become. It was the streaming before streaming was a thing.
Right, right, true.
But
I think
I think most people got into that show thinking that it was Megan from Drake and Josh growing up.
right, right.
And I feel
I
like they
mean,
didn't shy away from that.
no, 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 not at all. I think it was a good show only because it was mindless TV,
Yeah.
and at the time there was nothing better than just sitting down, picking a show up wherever the fuck it left off,
Hmm.
and kind of just being able to watch it. Like every episode was something different. There wasn't much, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't much continuality. Like there wasn't there wasn't a bigger, broader picture. It was literally just like each episode was self-contained, and that was cool. Um, I wouldn't say it was trash. I don't completely agree with that. For the time, I was a fan, but it's definitely not. I don't even think it's in my top 10 to be honest.
So apparently, the show where SpongeBob is like the people from SpongeBob are children. Apparently, Tavia Memory said it directly undergoes Hillenberg's dying wishes, which is the guy that made SpongeBob, I think. And he hopes it's a complete failure. And honestly, I feel like it's like Nickelodeon grasping at straws because they don't have any other thing to do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hold on, Mike.
Just
I didn't say mine yet. Rugrats is definitely one of my top.
so that's what I was gonna say. Just the simple fact that they went ahead and rebooted Rugrats. From what I've heard, I watched a review based on like I think the first 3 episodes of the season. It was literally just the adventures that the kids went on in the original series
Mm-hmm.
remastered with this like beautiful animation. So it wasn't much of a different story. It was kind of just like a treat to us older people that are more inclined to watch something CGI than to watch something 2D. Um, but I feel like from there, there's not much more that you can do. Like you can't reboot a whole series, right? And keep the same fucking plot that you had in its originality 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
Like that just won't work.
Also, All Grown Up
So
was trash. I did not like it. Screw you,
what was it?
Mike. All Grown Up. It was. I did not like it. Like it didn't. It kind of lost its charm. Like I don't care about Tommy's middle school or high school, whatever school they were in.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think it
I
was
vaguely
private high
remember.
school.
I just know they were all older, and it wasn't for me. Like the whole
What?
reason I'm in the show is because they're kids and they're talking, and then the
Right,
parents never know.
right,
It's kind of like a Toy Story, but of toddlers.
right, right.
A
What's
toddler
so
story.
crazy, bro, is that what's crazy is that they did all grown up, and literally the characters didn't have any fucking development in 10 to 12 years from the last time that we seen. Like Chucky was still this little bitch that cried in the corner. I think something happened to him. From what I remember, this motherfucker was in a bathroom, kneeled down, crying in the fucking fetal position, and Tommy had to be the fucking leader and like, oh, beat up some bullies or some shit. I
Hmm.
could be making that up. I could be making that up. It's a long time ago.
But definitely, I loved Rugrats. Like that was like if I was browsing through the three channels, it was Disney, Cartoon Network, or
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. If I saw Rugrats, that's what I'm watching.
Hell yeah.
Invader Zim was really, it was cool, but it was more like the Invader Zim's on. I'll put it in the background and I'll play like my PSP or my DS. Like
Right.
I
For
liked the
sure.
show, but it wasn't something that I would like stop playing my DS and like I really can't think of anything besides Very Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and SpongeBob right now. So I'm just gonna cop out and just say Timmy Turner. I mean, Very Odd
Sydney
Parents was
Sweeney.
just so freaking good. Like
Oh, it was
they
amazing.
had so many memorable characters, like the Crimson Chin.
Juan Decimo.
Yeah, it's just it was just too good.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then I'm gonna cop out and say George Lopez because you hear ding ding ding
Damn.
ding 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 ding.
I wanna give a shout out to the nanny if we're going to Nick at Night. Because the
Ooh,
nanny was bad as fuck.
true.
I watched it only because she was smoking.
The sister too. Granted, this is my younger self thinking that.
The sister.
Yeah.
Oh, oh. Okay.
Carmen, I think her name was.
Okay.
Yo, and the
I
mom
don't
too.
remember.
You don't remember the
Damn, I
mom?
don't even remember the mom.
Well, I'll
No.
just.
The butler was
That
funny as
doesn't
fuck.
even count.
What do you say?
Mike said that doesn't count.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, fuck. Fine. Let me just look it up real quick because I really do not remember what I used to look. I'm really bad at this. I should have just came prepared with this.
You had time, dude. We spoke about this
I
20 minutes
already
ago.
had a lot of time to come up with this, but you know what? I'm doing it on the fly. I'm looking at a whole bunch of. Apparently, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is part of Nickelodeon. Did you know that?
Yeah, but it was you talking about like the TMNT, like when it was 3D?
Oh my
Like
god,
CGI?
Avatar. Avatar. Oh my god. Yes. Avatar, Aang, and fucking Korra for the fucking win. I love the fucking Avatar series, except for the movie. Movie was trash. Also,
I try to get into it,
you
but
froze for me, so I'm gonna be back. You said look up Klabam. What's Klabam?
bam. Yo, wait, can I give a shout out to Chalk Zone? I think Chalk Zone was on Nick.
Chalk
Honorable
Zone.
mention.
What's that?
Chalk Zone.
Chalk
Was that
Zone.
on Nick? You don't remember Chalk Zone? With Rudy?
Chalk Zone.
Bro, you do not remember Chalk Zone?
Oh, with oh, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, that
See,
shit was
here's the thing.
gas.
I watched so many Nickelodeon shows that I don't remember
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
name of it is. But once I see a picture of it, I'm like, oh
Right.
shit,
Chalk
yes,
Zone was gas.
I remember that. Ang was anime bait for people who wanted to like anime but didn't want to admit they liked anime. Nah, bruh. Ang was just Western anime.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Ooh, My Life as a Teenage Robot. That was a really good one too.
Now, you know what's so crazy, bro? I forgot what streaming service. I think it was Hulu that they had it on. And for like a month straight, I would literally just put the show to go to sleep. And this shit was recently, like maybe last year. I
Mhm.
loved My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Cat Dog was good too. Arnold was actually
Hey
on
Arnold, I was gonna
Nickelodeon.
say,
Hey
yeah, yeah.
Arnold.
I still gotta stick with my top three, bro. Those are some power hitters.
Hold up. Okay, no. I looked at the picture and it said classic cartoon, but I didn't read the title. And it showed
Okay.
Dexter, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure Dexter is from Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do another
Oh my
top
God.
regarding our Cartoon
Rocket
Network.
Power.
Ooh, Rocket Power was good.
Fun fact, I watched Rocket Power in the Dominican Republic. And you know how they're all Hawaiian in the English
Yeah,
dub?
yeah.
In the Spanish
Right.
dub, they're Mexican.
Oh shit.
So they be like skating or like, órale way, que onda. So when I moved to New York, I'm like, holy shit, they're Hawaiian. Just a little fun fact.
That's cool.
That portable device had Nickelodeon videos. Video Now? What's Video Now?
Oh shit, bro! Video Now?
I don't.
It was literally, bro. It was literally like a calculator, right? Like the scientific calculators we use, the big ones, and it had like a cartridge on top that you will pop open like a CD player, and you had episodes on the cartridge. So like you will buy fucking season 1, episode 1 of Jimmy Neutron, pop it in, and it had a fucking screen on it, bro.
I never had this.
Holy
I
shit,
just
that's
looked it
a
up,
deep cut.
and I never
That's
had
a
this.
deep fucking cut. I had that shit. That was a deep cut right there. Shout out to whoever mentioned that.
Mike did. Y'all needed me this episode. Well, bro, you on vacation.
You're on vacation, kid. You're here in spirit.
Look up Video Now. Color shit was fire. I mean, I looked up a picture, and I like vaguely remember I might have seen like a commercial about it, but I never really owned one.
That shit was gas. I definitely had that.
So that concludes the top. I think that was a pretty good top, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a really good category.
Maybe we'll do Cartoon Network next.
We have to,
Because Cartoon Network has some fucking hits.
Oh, definitely, bro.
We're not gonna get ahead of ourselves now because we gotta save it for future content. Because we can milk the shit out of that. We could do fucking Nick at Night, but we kind of spoiled a little bit. But we could also do fucking
And,
Disney.
oh
Although,
hell yeah,
although
hell
to
yeah.
be honest, I'll be honest. I only watched like 3 Disney shows, or maybe even 2.
What about Disney XD? Apparently, it was a different channel. Like it wasn't actually Disney.
I
They
remember
had
it being like 122 on like my cable.
yeah, they had fuck, what was that show? Gravity Falls, if I'm not mistaken, was on Disney XD
I just know they had.
when it
I
was
just
coming
know
up.
they had the Marvel shows in that one.
Yeah, they did.
You wanted to talk about that little character right next to you?
Who this?
Yeah, that guy.
Mr. Rick Sanchez.
Yeah, that guy.
This episode of Rick and Morty was really fucking funny. It was probably the most sexualized episode that we've had
I mean,
in regards to like
there's literally sperm swimming
oh
around.
yeah, oh yeah. Bro, every scene was a sex joke. And every scene they made a joke about somebody jerking off. The shit was out there. It was really out there. They even mentioned it in the show. Morty's like, this is out there even for us. The B plot was pretty good, even though it heavily intertwined with the actual plot
Hmm.
of the show.
What was the B plot?
Um, with the chugs or the horse people,
Oh, right,
the
right, right.
underground horse
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. So not even too much of a B plot. It was definitely up there. But the cold open when Morty's waiting, he's waiting for his mom to get off work to watch Black Widow, and he finds this fucking contraption that collects horse sperm
Hmm.
from the actual horses. He turns his shit on, bro, and his eyes light up when he realizes what he can use it for. So, I mean, light spoilers for anybody out there who hasn't watched the episode yet.
I mean, you can't really spoil
But
this
that was a cold
episode
open.
because the episode's more
Yeah,
about comedy than it is about the context of the episode.
yeah, for sure. One thing that I had a conversation with my boy, shout out to Antics. We had a conversation regarding the show, and
Mhm.
this season, he had mentioned that there's not much continuality like between the first episode and I think if I'm not mistaken, this was the third episode. We haven't necessarily followed the main family through the entire episode yet. And I guess my explanation to him why they did that or why they're doing that is because they got renewed for 10 seasons.
Jesus
Um,
Christ!
yeah,
Wait,
if I'm
10.
not
Wait,
mistaken.
10 more
No, wait.
seasons?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. So I don't think it's 10 more. I think they got renewed up to season 10,
Okay.
which means that they have at least 50 episodes from when they got renewed. Either 50 or 60, because I'm not sure if they got renewed the end of season 3 or the end of season 4.
Hmm.
But that leaves a lot of room for them to not push a plot forward. That gives them a lot of filler episodes. That gives them a lot of time to work on these outlandish topics. Not that they weren't already doing that,
Yeah.
but a lot of them were canonical and like they heavily relied on this is it overlapping plot? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just use that. So that was my explanation. Like I get it. It's just fun to watch the characters do what the fuck they do, just go on crazy adventures.
It was just
So I don't mind.
hilarious.
Oh, it was
Especially
a great
when they
episode.
got freaking what's her face's XL, and then Morty had to go like the sister. I forgot her name.
Yes. Damn, me too.
Meg?
Summer.
Summer. Not Meg.
Yeah.
That's a completely different character.
Meg. They shit on Meg too. They shit on Summer this whole episode.
But
And last episode.
it was a funny episode. Especially with the
It was
freaking
fire.
incest baby at the end.
That shit was crazy. Bro, we have to see him in another episode.
Oh, he's definitely gonna come back.
He's just out there in space fucking eating astronauts. So
Yeah.
he has to come back.
By the way, I just want to say a quick note. So I binge watched all of Superman and Lois. That's like up to date.
Right.
And I really tried to watch an episode of The Flash. Because I saw a clip and it was just him meeting like Bart.
Yeah.
So I was like, alright, that's pretty interesting. So I tried to watch the latest episode. And I watched about halfway through. I'm like, I bet you that scene is at the very end. So I completely stopped watching it because I just couldn't take the fucking ads.
Honestly, bro, the fact that they brought Godspeed back for
It's
a
stupid.
third
There's a
or fourth
Godspeed
time.
war. There's two factions
Yeah,
of Godspeed, and they're fighting because they're looking for a dude that's gonna be like a danger or some shit. And I was like,
right.
I don't care about the plot. I just like about the little, like,
Oh
Barry
yeah,
meets Bart. That's all I'm here for. And then
right.
they also had Diggle because he's apparently jumping between shows.
Gotcha.
And the whole thing with him is that he opened the Green Lantern ring, and now he's getting headaches, and he's supposed to become Green Lantern, but
Right. Okay.
they're dragging the
Remember that.
fuck out of that because he
All right.
went
So
to
let me ask you.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
he went to Superman and he did absolutely nothing. He's like, here's a box with technology. Oh no, you're using for the wrong reasons. You shouldn't do that. Then he just dipped out.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
Did they up? Did they up their budget for CGI?
For Flash?
Yeah, for Flash.
No.
There's no point in watching it.
But there is a point in
That-
watching Superman and Lois.
I
Because
want to get into it, bro.
because
but
unlike
once I stopped watching it, I was just like, "Fuck this." Shit.
yeah, they really fucked up with that little break they had. Because it wasn't a little break, it was like 2 months.
Yeah.
But I got back into it. And it's like it's not the CW bullshit where
right,
they
right.
just
It's
throw
HBO's bullshit.
they don't throw drama at it. It's just like it's concise. Like sure,
yeah, I mean, I
sure.
get it.
There's one thing I don't like, which is like it's like the family that they kind of focus on that no, I don't really care too much about. But the daughter is
Right.
like tied to the son. But it kind of makes sense why they do that because this is the only bad part I'd say about the show, which is just the family that they kind of focus a bit too much on. But besides that, the Superman parts, the Superboy parts, the Lois Lane parts, they're all great. And the CGI is pretty good. It has actually good cinematography.
Yeah.
So it's just a very enjoyable show that I recommend you watch.
Yeah. No, I watched, what was it, the first 3 or 4 episodes. I got into it. Like the story was good. I think the Lex Luthor that they were bringing in was pretty good.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed it. I liked seeing one of the kids get powers. If I'm not mistaken, that's where I left off. It's episode 3 or some shit. But yo, I am about to pee on myself. Quick disclaimer, sorry.
Yeah, go
everybody.
for it. I'll just edit this part out.
Like,
So let's get on to what you're wearing right now. Fucking Loki. The most impactful
yes.
MCU show so far.
Literally, this shit is gonna change the course of
Like
phase. What is it? Phase 4? Phase 5?
phase something. Let me tell you something. I was under the impression that if they introduce what's up?
Wait. Do we have Loki spoilers up here?
Now we do. Thank you.
Now we do. Gotcha.
All right. Let me just, for people that can't listen, this is the spoiler section of Loki. You've been warned. I will spoil Loki if you haven't watched it now. All right. So this is by far the best show. And I was under the impression that if they were to introduce Kang, well, not really Kang. He's not really Kang, but he is Kang.
Yeah. Kang variant.
Yeah. It wouldn't work because it'd be too soon and it's not really a lot of build up.
Right.
But Jonathan Majors, which is the actor, he fucking killed it.
Oh, he did. He did.
Like, I was at the edge of my seat. But I mean, at first I was a little iffy about it because like his acting method kind of threw me off, but then
Yeah, bro. Yes.
like it threw me like it wasn't what I was expecting. It kind
know.
of subverted my expectations, which is not a bad thing. It was just a uncomfortable feeling for me that I got used to really quickly.
Yeah.
Because the fact that Sylvie tries to kill him and he just teleports and
he's just fucking with
he's
him.
just all casual about it, just eating his freaking apple. It was just like, all right, this dude is like menacing in a completely different way than Thanos is.
I think my initial reaction to him, I definitely got this uneasy feeling, right?
Mhm.
I wasn't comfortable with the way that the character was moving.
Yeah.
Like the direction that he was moving in.
Mhm.
But when we got to the whole, I guess, spiel of his fucking epilogue
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the fuck he was saying, I definitely understood it. He's like he's sick and tired of being this fucking. He's sick and tired of sitting at the edge of time and watching over the sacred timeline and putting all these puzzle pieces together to come up with somebody to take his throne.
Right.
And when he actually offers it to them, I'm like, okay, so that's why he was. That's kind of the cause of his actions, and it definitely eased my mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a second watch through of the finale, it was really good. So maybe a second watch through of it, I'll catch on to some more things. But all in all, I feel like obviously this is not the version that we're gonna get
It's
in
not.
the Ant-Man and the Quantum Mania. And that is a Kang that I'm looking forward to, like somebody who's actually the fucking conqueror, bro, goes to all these other timelines, fucking destroying shit, as opposed to creating the TVA who was destroying shit for him. So I'm definitely heavily looking forward to what they do with the next few movies, which is Quantum Mania, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to those shows.
So
I mean, to those movies.
here's my take on that. He completely killed it. Um, it's like I hope. So I watched a couple of videos about it, and I agreed to what some of the people said that I hope they do the opposite of what they did with Thanos, whereas like he kind of was sprinkled here and there throughout the Marvel movies. He was barely in them,
Right.
like up until like the last point where you see a lot of him, because you only
Right.
see him in like a couple of end credit scenes where he's just sitting shit. Like the
Yeah,
most you
grabbing
see of
bumble.
him besides Infinity War and Endgame, I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy when you see the main villain talk to Thanos. I forgot his
Yes.
name.
Yes.
That's like the most you
I
see
forgot his
about
fucking name.
that's like the most you see about Thanos.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz it's weird because the first time you see him like I'll just do it myself, but then he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, I hope for Kang, I hope that throughout all the movies we see like different like variants of him,
Right.
and they all kind of like maybe working for like the Conqueror Kang, which would make sense
Right. That would be
because
dope.
I don't know, but I just want to see more of Kang because we would just see like a whole bunch of like characters like Jonathan Majors is playing like different variations all throughout the movies.
Right.
That would
Mhm.
be freaking dope.
And to be completely honest, we don't even need him specifically to play Kang. Like we have plenty of variants of Loki, and not all of them were
True.
Tom Hiddleston. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just them bringing Kang the Conqueror into the MCU. I do like that they announced him as the main villain in Ant-Man.
Mm.
But moving forward from that, it's like he might be on screen. He might be the big bad of the whole fucking show, movie. Jesus Christ, I'm stuck in this show mode. He might be the whole big bad of the entire movie, and we won't know that it's necessarily him pulling the strings from behind because it's not actually the Kang that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely a good concept. I would love to see them not necessarily drag it out, but definitely spot splotches of him throughout these movies. Make it a little bit more interesting and giving us something to grab for
Mm-hmm.
when we do see all these fucking Fox MCU characters come into the scene.
So I definitely all right. So the next movie that we have that's like multiverse centric is Spider-Man, which is at the end of the year, and then after that, it's gonna there it is, and it's ironically about the Sinister Six as well.
Right.
Um. Also, fun fact: there's a figure that released for Spider-Man, and it shows like the new suit that he has. I'm not gonna spoil it in case like,
Right, right.
because it's not a trailer yet, which I predict there's gonna be a trailer next week. Because not to get off too much off topic, but when Endgame came out, soon after Sony released a trailer to Far From Home where it showed like Tony died.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna do the same thing this time where it shows like, now that we know that the multiverse splitting timeline shit is happening, they're gonna release their trailers. But basically, there's a figure that released with a certain suit, and in the background were very familiar backgrounds of certain movies. That's all I'll say about it.
What I do want to say regarding your point about the timeline breaking,
Mm-hmm.
I really liked about this episode was that they actually showed the timeline going fucking berserk, bro. There was so many branches off of the main timeline. And I mean, obviously, Loki spoilers, bro. Loki ended up in a timeline that wasn't his, or it was directly affected by whatever Sylvie did at the edge of time in the void. Was that the void? Or was the void before the end of
So I
time?
have an interesting theory about that. So in the beginning of the show, of the episode, they show like a time stream, right?
Right.
And then it kind of like circles. It goes out, and you see like a big black hole, and then you go
Mhm.
into another black hole, and that's where the episode goes into. What if this entire phase is just a different timeline?
Well, they can go crazy with that idea. They can do so much with that idea.
Like, what if this entire phase is just a different timeline? And that's what I
I
got
mean,
off of that.
that would give them no reason to explain why certain shit is happening and why certain characters are on the big screen finally.
True.
That's
Also,
actually a really good
we
idea.
got Korg and freaking Deadpool in the same.
Yes.
They're just talking to each other, watching a trailer for a movie.
If you guys haven't seen that, you can look it up on YouTube. It's actually the trailer for The Good Guy. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie. He's basically
Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi.
Yes. So he's a character in a video game world, and he somehow gets free will, and he's able to he's trying to save everybody from dying. It actually looks pretty funny.
Live action
But-
Wreck-It Ralph. Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. The cool thing about it was that Deadpool was reacting to Ryan Reynolds as an actor, so that was like super meta.
And-
it was
and
it was a
also,
really good video.
Korg, which is voiced by Taika Waititi, was reacting to Taika Waititi as an actor.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where Deadpool asked him, "Hey, what do you think about Taika Waititi?" He's like, "He's a nice guy." Like,
Yeah,
it was so meta.
That shit was really good.
And like, I'm
Honestly,
so
I just
happy
love-
for that.
I love to see them sharing the screen, bro. It was like even that little tidbit. I think it was a 3-minute or 4-minute clip. It was actually really incisive, and it gave us a lot of information.
Dude, when I found it, it just threw me off guard because I was looking at my explore page on YouTube, and then that shit popped up. I'm like,
I texted you as soon as I heard about
Like,
it. Bro.
I didn't believe it. I'm like, is this like some sort of fan made shit? So I click on it because I was expecting like maybe it's like a voiceover dub or like a really good costume and really good CG. I'm like, this looks too damn good.
Oh, it's official.
Because I watched it in a
Super.
channel that wasn't Ryan Reynolds. And I'm like, this looks too fucking good. I'm like, is that fucking Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah,
But anyway,
it was really good.
back to the topic of Loki. Loki just, it made me excited for this phase. Because, Wanda was pretty cool. They gave you like a little glimpse of like, all right, I can see what Multiverse of Madness is going to be about. I'm hyped for
Right.
it. But this shit is like, I'm fucking hyped.
Oh yeah, I'm super hyped, bro.
Now, my only.
Honestly, like I said, the biggest thing. Sorry to cut you off.
Mhm.
The biggest thing is them not having to explain why certain characters are in certain situations. Why is the X-Men in the MCU? Why is the Fantastic Four in the MCU? It wasn't even a cop out. It wasn't like a cheap win for them. Like this whole series was leading up to breaking the fucking sacred timeline and
Mhm.
creating these branches.
Yeah.
So anything that we watch moving forward can literally be a branch timeline, and we don't have to have it explained to us.
True. It's just I don't know. This show is just great, and I can't wait.
No, the show was amazing. The show was amazing. The one thing that I really liked about it was that, and I'm talking about the show entirely, in its entirety. People that don't even necessarily follow the MCU as closely as us, or fans of the actual superhero movies or the superhero genre, period,
Mhm.
they were able to get really in tune with this show. And it's like I saw people that, shout out to my cousin, who I didn't even think watched any superhero movies.
Mhm.
She was like, "Oh, this Loki season finale though," and I'm like, "Holy shit! This show really captivated an audience that it didn't have a chance of grasping their attention before." So honestly, big props to Marvel for doing that. It was a really good fucking show.
I'm interested to see how it feels to jump into the Marvel train now. Like just to have 22 hour, well not 20, it's like 48 hours. I
Yeah,
think. No,
bro.
I think it's more like 50 cuz it's like 22 movies or 23 with Black Widow. And they're like all maybe 2 3 hours. That's a lot of hours. That's like a it's like a
Honestly,
10 season
for
like show. No, not really.
for sure. For anybody who's jumping onto the train now and wants to, watch the movies in, I guess, chronological order, not necessarily when they were released.
Mhm.
We spoke about it in our last episode that you should probably watch Black Widow after Civil War, and that'll give you a pretty good lead up to what happens in Infinity War.
I hope Disney Plus does what they do with Star Wars where like they line up the movies in like timeline
Yes,
order.
I saw they did that. Yeah, yeah. That'll
I
be
hope they
that'll be
do that.
really, really helpful. Hell yeah.
But think I don't think well Black Widow kind of spoils Endgame a little bit.
Also,
The end credit scene.
if you're watching a movie, bro, for somebody who
Yeah,
hasn't been
but
an
what if
avid
you're just
of
completely
any of the movies,
fresh?
if you're completely fresh, you probably won't even know that there's an end credit scene, and the movie's done, and you'll be like, all right, cool, I'll click it off.
Yeah, but by
I
then,
mean, more power to you. It
but
won't spoil
I
anything
feel
for you.
like because that's like maybe the 18th movie. I feel like by then you would have noticed.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the end credit scenes are actually really good.
But anyway, back let's get back to the Loki talk.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
My only thing, my only problem with the current MCU. Well, I know actually this Loki finale really opens up what if because
Oh, hell yeah,
it's perfect.
hell yeah.
But the only thing with that is right after what if we get Eternals. I mean Shang-Chi, which I'm hyped for, but it seems kind of fillery now.
Yeah, for sure.
And also we get Eternals, which I don't see how that can deal with timeline. Like if
I
they
mean, in
like
the
it's gonna be weird if they don't like at least acknowledge it.
well, okay, so they did in the trailer. They said that apparently I guess these beings were like talking, and they said that now they have to get involved. And when they said that, it wasn't pertaining to Endgame or to Infinity War. It was pertaining to the broken timeline.
Oh, okay. So they
So
are gonna
I'm not
acknowledge
exact.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from what I've seen in the trailer, that's what it was alluding to, and that's what I got out of it. Um, so I would say that it's a quick little like drop in, like, oh, we saw this shit happen. Now we gotta get in there and do some shit. You know
So
what I mean?
Shang-Chi is the only filler one.
Yeah, I would say that that's gonna be filler. I mean, it does explain how we have Abomination in there at the end. Um, like I said, bro, it's gonna be really interesting to see how they deal with the broken timeline and all these branch
Mm-hmm.
timelines, because anything that we see from moving forward can literally be its own branch timeline.
True.
You know what I mean? Like all these characters existing in another timeline that are not the characters that we're used to.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to get too off topic. We
Mm-hmm.
do have a little bit of Loki to talk about, but big shout out to the What If series. That shit looks a fucking amazing, bro.
It
It looks
does.
amazing.
It looks
I'm
like
super excited for that shit.
it looks like they got 22 writers. Like, all right, write whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter what context. You got 22 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever amount of time
You
to give.
got you got 400 characters that you can use.
Just
Just
do
go
whatever
all
you
out.
want. Go at it, and I'm all for it. And we can discuss it in a special way. No spoilers, but stick
No
around.
spoilers. Hell yeah! Looking forward to our next adventure.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy that I'm feeling hyped for the MCU because after Endgame, I was very concerned that I wasn't gonna get excited again.
Oh,
Because I was
for
just
sure.
like, yo,
I mean,
how
it,
do you top this?
that's the thing. It's like it's the pinnacle. Like that's Mount Everest, and they're just showing us that we were completely wrong. This series, bro, it opened a lot of doors for a lot of interesting things to happen,
It
and
did.
hopefully, moving forward, a lot more fans of the genre and of the movies itself.
True. We're just gonna have to stick around. But
And we'll be here. We'll be here explaining everything. We'll be here giving our take, our little hot take.
of course.
And if you guys are interested, we're gonna be around.
But before we end the show, I just want to remind you guys that this is the season finale of the first season of the I'm Joking podcast. We'll be back in the first week of August.
Yep.
Better, bigger, and that sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. I want to just say thank you guys so much for any of you guys that listen to 1, 2, even all the podcasts. Just listening to even one episode helps us a lot, and we appreciate
yeah.
you. While we're not gonna be completely gone for the 2 weeks, you know, we'll still be active in the social media. We're gonna actually revamp it a bit, make it more effective at what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to just talk to us, we'll be there. You can just DM that account. We'll reply to you. But it's been a nice ride, and I'm excited for season 2 of Loki and season 2 of our show.
Yes. I'm super excited for it.
It'd be interesting. I'm very interested to see what our show looks like when season 2 of Loki comes out, which whenever that is.
Man, we're gonna be on another plane, bro. We would really love to have you guys along for the ride.
Of course. And as always, you know, if you want to be part of that show, like on the screen, part of the show, you can always come to the Twitch when we're live. Your comments will show up live right underneath us or to the side, depending on what layout we have. You can leave comments on YouTube. You know, feedback, questions. We'll reply to it. We'll like it. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for giving us your time.
Oh yeah.
This has been episode 21 of the JoKen podcast. We'll be back for season 2. Take care, guys. Peace.